guys. Hey, let me ask you something. How likely are you to be a worrier? And if you worry, what is it that you worry about? Is it about the future? Is it about college? What are you going to do for a living? How are you going to support your family? If you have one someday, will you ever get married? Things like that. I have noticed through my survey, but also the survey just confirmed what I already had a hunch about from having so many teenage clients over the years, is you guys really do worry. You worry a lot about the future. You worry a lot about college. You worry about, what am I going to major in? Maybe I don't really want to go to college, so then what am I going to do? I don't have the money to go to college and I don't know how to get it. There's lots of things that you're worried about, whether you're going to get into the school that you want, all those things. Okay, so I want to offer you some help based on some hard lessons that I have had in my life. Okay, I used to have a little mix of being a worrier, but also treating life as kind of a game. So let me explain. When I was younger, I was like highly extroverted, which I still am, but I was always looking for the next fun thing to do. And the reason being is because I was worried about stuff, and instead of facing what I was worried about, I would just go and do this other thing over here because, well, then that just got my mind off of it and it was just more fun. But the problem was, because I didn't face whatever it is that I was worried about, and I treated life as a game, it came back to nip me in the butt pretty bad. So I've had to learn some pretty hard lessons from bitter consequences back then. So I just want to offer you some tips, okay? So a teenage brain is not fully developed. You probably already know that. It doesn't develop until at least 25. Some of the research is even saying almost 30 now. So it's really hard for you to be able to think far into the future. Like, okay, so if I make this decision, what could happen? But it doesn't mean that you can't develop that and discipline yourself to do that. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do is do what I didn't do and how I had to learn the hard way, okay? Is when you're gonna make a decision, or maybe even you have a habit in life, you wanna ask yourself, what am I practicing for? Okay, so here are some examples, and I also want you to think about this while you're asking the question and thinking about the answer. I am the rule, not the exception. Okay, if you have the mindset that will never happen to me, then it's probably gonna happen to you, okay? We are the rule, not the exception, okay? So here are some examples. If I don't study hard in high school, I might not get into the college that I want. If I don't study and do homework in college, I might flunk out, costing my parents and myself a lot of money and possibly precluding me from being able to go back. If I'm having sex, I'm practicing for pregnancy and STDs. If I'm drinking on the weekends, I'm practicing to have a drinking problem. See where I'm going? If I'm sitting around playing video games or watching TV all day, then I'm practicing for not being a motivated person who wants a job and can support their family someday. If I am a jerk to my parents, then I'm practicing for having a terrible relationship with them. But if I'm practicing being mindful of other people, I'm gonna have great relationships. If I'm practicing going to work on time and doing a good job while I'm there, I'm practicing to get a promotion. If I study really hard, I might get into an even better college than I was hoping for. Do you see what I'm getting at? You always wanna think about, what am I practicing for, okay? I didn't learn that until later in life, all right? Now, I hate to break it to you, but we don't have anywhere near the control in life that we think we do. All we can do is make the next right decision. That's all we can do. Life is a culmination of decisions, and so our goal is to make the best decision we can with the given resources that we have, the knowledge that we have, and just do the best we can, okay? So that should help you with the worrying part, where you're just like, okay, I cannot control what's gonna happen even tomorrow. I can't control what's gonna happen 5 years from now, but I can control the decisions that I make today. Now, if you are a Christian, I would highly recommend that you pray about this stuff, especially the big decisions, And then pretty soon you're going to get used to hearing God's voice. You're going to recognize who that is. You're going to recognize that it's not you, because you don't want to believe everything that comes into your head, okay? Because we have a lot of chatter in there that's, not helpful, okay? So with that though, until you can figure out, what is God's voice and what is not, let me give you some tips. This is some things you need to know. Number one, God will not ask you to do something that is against Scripture. So it doesn't go against his character, right? Number two, if you feel filled with anxiety about a decision and you're not feeling settled, that's not from God. God is a God of peace. Even if you have to do something really difficult and hard and you don't want to do it, you will have this internal knowing and this feeling of being settled, okay? And I can tell you that from personal experience. I've had some horrifically bad decisions that I have had to make. And I shouldn't say that, horrifically hard decisions that I've had to make. And it was awful, but I had this internal knowing and this peace that I was going in the right direction, okay? Number three, God will often use circumstances in your life. So if you are trying to go in this direction and every door is shutting in your face, just every one, it's just like, then I would hold back and not make any decisions and try to reevaluate what's going on. Try to spend some time with him, maybe ask some other Christians and just say, be like, well, I don't get this. What do you think? And that brings me to number four. Have somebody in your life that is older than you, because they have just been through more life experiences. I mean, I have friends that are old enough to be my mom because they have been through more life than I have, more experiences, more junk, and they can give me advice that is far more solid because of that. And they have just been, doing things God's way for a long time so that they can understand things a little more. Now, if you are kind of horrified by having to go up to somebody and say, hey, would you mentor me or just kind of be around if I have questions about stuff and would like advice? If you're worried about asking that question of somebody, don't. I just want to tell you that people are honored. They are honored that you would ask, okay? So don't feel nervous about that. Now, if you are not a Christian, that's cool, but maybe start investigating that a little bit. And that even if you don't have any interest in that, it never hurts to have somebody mentor you. It never hurts to have somebody older that you respect. You can see how their life is turning out, that you can go to and just say, hey, I got this problem. What do you think? Okay? So I hope that helps with the worrying. Just understand that every single one of us, I don't care how old you are, we all want to look into the future and wonder if everything is going to work out okay. Every single one of us. I still do today. So don't worry. It is normal. It is normal to want to be able to do that. But it kind of steals your peace in the moment. It kind of, takes away the joy of the day to worry about tomorrow. So my suggestion is just to try to make the next right decision in the direction that you want to go. And in the process, just keep asking yourself some hard questions. What do I want to do with my life? And what's important to me? What's not important to me? What things really need to go? Sometimes the worry in our life is because we really need to deal with some things that are scary to us. Maybe it's a difficult relationship that needs to go. Maybe it's a hard conversation that you need to have, a job you need to quit. It's just hard. And some of you guys are dealing with some really tough stuff. Messed up families, abuse, and it's really easy to worry. Like, I totally get it. So I hope that helps. And if you guys want to send me some emails and not leave a public comment, please do. It's Teresa@fortheloveofteenagers.com. People email me all the time when they have something personal. It's rare that I get a public comment because they don't want to disclose too much, and I totally get it. So if you want to do that, please do. I just love you all, and I'll see you next time.